Huh. That's interesting. Streamlabs automatically. Interesting. All right. Is that you playing with it? Okay. Um, hey, so do I have this? Do I have my? Yeah. Okay, I do. Oh, ready when you are. Hey, loner guy. Just a heads up, the audio is not going to be on. Actually, that's what we're doing first, Issa. But for reasons like I got a strike warning playing copyright stuff on stream, so we're doing it in the Discord, and then we're gonna try to find out which one's not copyright. But the Stitch one is. I mean, it'll be coming through the Discord stream, which I should put up right now. Just to watch together right there. And that should come out. The video quality is janky, but that's because I'm streaming in a few paces. Hey, Lorenzo, thank you from Italy. Marius, hello. All right. I don't know if I have my timer set. Do the time. Is this? You can't see the window when you full screen on Discord. Oh, that's odd. Um. Okay. All right. Should I give the intro? All right. What is up, everybody? This is your chronically Caucasian vocal analyst, and today we're going to listen to Stitch Feels Like Nothing, which is now available on Spotify. All right, let's do this. Whoops. There we go. Oh my god, that's cool. That's really cool. I mean, there's clearly some post-production on this. Yeah, it sounds like there's some added distortion, which is like a super common thing to do. Um, got it. Okay. So then it was just, yeah, so you're saying, like you said, it was just high gain. But that's cool though, because it makes that sound like it's distorted, which is actually like the Strokes do that a lot. Also like this little thing right here he did. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I just want to take a listen to this one. This is a really cool start. That little vocal fry in the beginning. Yeah, that little crackle. It's cool. It's this singing style is super reminiscent of like that sound is bazonkers, but that's I can't explain that. Yeah, I don't know. And then he's throwing in some like slight like polyphonic things here and there, which is like to just throw those in casually is kind of nutty. Um, yeah, the singing style he's using is very much like pop singing, which is seems to be like the go-to direction for beatboxers for a couple of reasons. Like, it's very pragmatic. It's not just an aesthetic. Um, the whenever you do a plosive or any really consonant where air builds up in the back, if you're putting a lot of air out on it, it's going to feel really uncomfortable. You can just try that, like that builds up. And then on top of that, if you tilt either the cricoid to belt or the thyroid to give a more classical sound, and you go up, it's not going to be necessarily like it's the difference of volume between your consonants and your voice is going to be like even the best compressor in the world is going to struggle with that. So anyway, that's nutty. Whoa. Okay. Oh my goodness. Yeah. That is I yeah, I don't know. Like I have the same reaction to this as I do to I have the same reaction to this as I do when I first heard Layla Hathaway. It's just I don't get it. Like I don't like I don't know. That's bananas. Yeah. Yeah. No, there are things here like I have to listen to over and over again, and I still won't understand, but they're cool. It's good music. That's the thing is like it stands on its own, even like putting the techniques aside. That's really cool. It's amazing how much work people do to make like effects with their voice naturally. Like I would use a plugin because maybe I'm lazy, but like, dang, that's really cool. Um, she'll do it. Hold on a second. Hey, loner guy. Yeah, she'll do it when she scats, but it's like I mean, she'll do it in the way like maybe a violinist will do like a double stop or um the way that um you know when I was like playing guitar and I would do like a solo like every now and then I would throw two notes in, right? Or three notes. And so she'll do that sometimes several times in a row, but it's more like it's like a spur of the moment expressive tool. It's not like she's trying to do like an entire phrase on that. Um, the aesthetics are different, right? Like in a jazz solo, you're not looking to make a bunch of crazy sounds when scatting. Um, whereas in beatboxing, doing that stuff is really celebrated. Hmm. 1 second. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Okay, I wanted to respond to Ryan real quick. Not sure when you're reading chat, but for wildcard audio, they can use EQ, reverb, and compression in the same settings throughout the video, no tweaking for individual sounds. So I heard the reverb. Um, yeah, yeah. That's what he's saying is that the individual, you can't tweak for individual sounds. You can't like mix live. But it would make sense if there's a crap ton of distortion from compression. Because those drum hits sound freaking massive. So it would make sense, I think, that you can get a certain kind of distortion from like excessive compression, Muse, like anything done by Muse. There's a reason why you hear every inhale on the on any Muse song. There's just an insane amount of compression. Anyway, all right, we do this. You ready? What is up, everybody? This is your chronically Caucasian vocal analyst, and today I'm going to try to understand how Stitch does that thing where there's 2 notes at a time. How? I don't know. We're going to find out as soon as I learn how to hit a button. Oh, no. Hold on, I screwed up the every it for SEO purposes it makes more sense to do to separate it because yeah, anyway, for some reason when I'm pressing spacebar it's not changing anything. Why? It's kind of an important thing I do. Let's see. There we go. All right. Did you want to start from that specific spot? Got it. All right. Change the red. What is up, everybody? This is your chronically Caucasian vocal analyst, and today we're going to try to understand how Stitch does the things where there's more than one note, which I don't get. Anyway, let's get into this. There we go. I want to pause here just in case people there are going to be people who struggle to get that tone really clean. The best thing you can do is take a straw and a glass of water, put the straw in the glass of water and sing. The back pressure will help make your throat feel a bit more comfortable, but also you'll literally see bubbles. Falsetto in the way that he's demonstrating here is just like super, super, super little air. So you need a very small inhale and you need to not really push out the sound. So if you're struggling with that bit, just a heads up. There's a bit more going on than just mixing those two things. To to kind of give a bit more detail of what he means by falsetto being effectively kind of a whisper. They're not entirely the same, which is why, like, when you mix them together, that's really interesting that that's the sound that comes in. I'm gonna have to try that because like that part mixing them together, I cannot sit here and say that I understand that. But with falsetto, all you're doing is you're flipping your folds open, and then the edges of the folds will oscillate. Whereas when you whisper, you retract your folds and they don't necessarily oscillate. You just have a white noise coming out. And then I do ba di ba ba, right? And you can use your consonants that are unvoiced. But that's interesting, putting them together. It seems like when you put them together, something happens that, like, doesn't happen in any of, like, I don't know. I will have to try this and maybe talk to some people. Yeah. Yeah. No, I had that with the lip bass. They're like, you'll get in like a week, and I'm like over here with yeah, I'm doing that same thing. Like, it doesn't exactly work out. Hey guys, it's close. That sounds better than I do. Anyway. That makes me feel old that that's known as this CSI sound instead of, the Who. But that's hilarious that his friends are accepting of that. Mine are not, but I guess opera is different. It's really, really loud, and you can't really easily, yeah, you can't easily talk in throat bass. Pick me up the kid with extra rice. I don't know. Something about that is more obnoxious, I think, inherently. I want to touch on practice, like why we practice and like what specifically you're trying to accomplish physiologically. So nothing's wrong about what he said, but let's get into this a little bit. I'm gonna bring up a thing real quick from that I posted in the Discord. And then there's I don't know if you want to see another polyphonic demonstration, but there's one on the charismatic voice and opera singer reaction and analysis channel. Uh I don't know. Opera singers tend to tunnel vision, but if that exists, and we'll take a look at it. Okay. We'll have to check her out then. Trying to find where I put I think it was in singing help. Yeah, here it is, the myelin. Change my window capture real quick. So this might be difficult for some of you to see. This is a neuron. These little fatty things, these little blobs, that's called myelin, or myelin. Let me get my MS Paint drawing situation up. Oh, I do already have it. Cool. Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm just chroma keying this thing out. Okay. Okay. So this, oops, not that. That's a lie. These little things right here, that's myelin. So what happens is that, where is it? Oh, I have it on, yeah, I'll put it on Discord. Stream that on Discord. Let me apply this and tag you in it. Oh, all right, no, the wrong name. Forget your. There we go. Cool top. There we go. That's the image. Do you want me to pull it up on Discord? Like the actual stream Discord? Okay. Let's see. Oop, that's what I wanted. Let's see. Oh, no problem, Zelfin. No, I gotta switch Windows screens. No, that's fine. That I need to bring it up. Okay. So the entire goal when we practice, let's see. The entire goal when we practice in order to build these things is that we have to interrupt forgetting. It's not like a number of times that you do it. It's not about quantity. It's about like taking a step back, forgetting what you just did, and then trying to recall it. For reference, like Mike Tyson used to punch in the mirror and watch his form for like maybe 5 to 15 minutes at a time and then stop. I used to go to the bathroom and do lip trills because no one would know any better. Right? You're in the bathroom, nobody knows. Right? It's all part of it. Anyway. All right. That. There we go. Spoot. Watch together. There we go. Okay. I can start again if you want. Sure. Avos, Greece is still there. Yes. How long is the slow mode? I think it's every 5 seconds. So, anyway, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is your chronically Caucasian vocal analyst, and today we're going to be watching more Stitch. Because I still don't understand. But this is on Spotify. Stay with me, so you should check that out. Anywho, let's get this on a roll. Oh, that's me pressing a button. There we go. I do want to talk a little bit about the tone quality that he's getting. This has become super, super, super popular. He's doming his soft palate. So, like, traditional logic would say that you get a nice clear tone from doing like a, well, I heard there was a secret chord, right? But that's not what he's doing, right? That's a lifted soft palate. That's everything pretty much relaxed, right? What he's doing is it's like he's getting out of bed in the morning with a little bit of cold. He's like, oh, right? And then he's singing like that. Well, I heard there was a record. Right? I don't practice it, but that's the idea there. Right? Something like that. That's the tone quality he's getting there. It's not a. Dang. The trumpet sounds really good too. I like uh I it's what I'll say one thing. I really, really, really enjoy how he isn't trying to make everything hit as hard as humanly possible. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's become a thing right now is like everyone wants the sickest, deepest bass. They want it to be busy, they want it to be powerful. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's an aesthetic. But Stitch stands out in that he's just grooving, right? And the musicality is really nice. The phrasing is there, and it's a little bit more chill. Is that fair to say? Yeah. Snotty. Um, did you want to for your stuff? Do you want to just after we're done with every of one of the Stitch videos? Do you want to go over it again so that you have a video? Because I feel like I'm not looping you into the conversation here, and so I'm worried about you not getting content out of this. Okay, gotcha. I don't mind going over these again and then talking about them so you have a video. That's fine by me if that's what you want to do. Hold on. Sorry, let me check on chat because sometimes it doesn't update. Can you react to big man blinding lights? Uh, of this live stream content? I don't mind. I don't mind doing it. It's difficult to get to everybody. I'm trying to do these more so that I can do like more just spontaneous requests. Yeah. Healthy. Uh, Let me know when you're ready. I know you're trying to fix your connection. This is not your typical. This is symmetrical. Perfection. Crying out for some affection. I wish I could actually make those sounds as clean as Gene. I love that tune though. It's just a good song. Like that's the thing with Gene. I think Marquet has this quality too. Codfish as well. Stitch. The people who I like to listen to are busy making music. And that's not to say that other people don't. Like the people who are really really good beatboxers are making music. Like Dilo makes music, right? Sorrow MB14. Like all these people make music. But they're just people who I have a certain affinity towards, and Gene is definitely one of them. This is not your typical shape, so it's symmetrical, riddled with imperfections. Yep. Hello. I'm just practicing Gene's set because I'm jelly. All right. Let me get that back up. Your connection is a little concocted. Well, so you have the stream on my end. Then you have is it necessary to face cam me? Because that would save you a lot of bandwidth. That's fine. I trust your knowledge. Um, do you need a sec to figure it out, or are we good? Okay. Okay. Um, what is up, everybody? This is your chronically Caucasian vocal analyst, and we're gonna watch another Stitch tutorial. Spoiler alert: I'm not gonna know anything about how this works, so I'm learning. I'm here for the ride. So let's get into it. Huh. Oh man, that's grody. That's grody. I feel like I'm watching Ren and Stimpy all over again. Blisters. So, I guess the more technical term is that's called a vocal hemorrhage. Um, yeah, you could, so, both inward bass and throat bass, if they're vocalized, that sound, that rattle sound, is basically your folds like flopping together. And if you're using a lot of air, they'll flop together and hit really hard. The blisters he's talking about are polyps or nodules. And that's actually a really good. Yeah, that's actually a good. I've never heard someone put it in the way that, like, you'll get a blister, but that is actually what it is. Yeah, a nodule is you building callus. The dead skin builds up. You get callus, and then that will have some effects. Don't do that. But yeah, it was just to clarify that this is bonkers. I'm gonna keep going. Oh my god. I'm like imagine if I gave a lesson and I had to give an asterisk. Now, when you practice this technique, don't do it at Thanksgiving or you'll puke on Anna, your cousin. Like I don't know. This is what's I think what's crazier than that is that there's so many people in the beatbox community. They're gonna get this tiny piece of information, right? Like, there's no diagrams here. There's nothing you would be spoiled by, right? But there are going to be tons of people, they watch this video and they just practice constantly and they eventually nail it. And that's something I wish I could instill in every single student of mine is play with stuff. You learn the most that way. So I don't know, that's respect to people who like make these, and then even more respect to people who do them. Go for it, sorry. You're saying it's burp falsetto. That's what you're saying. It's burp falsetto. If the sphincter in charge of making that rattle with the burp is basically not making contact, and then it's just the edges that are making the sound. Is that what you're implying? Yeah, I mean, and it's a lot of let's try to find maybe a diagram of this. It's hard to find stuff like this, but I just paused recording. Um, upper, yeah, eoclotic, uh, clotic sphincter. Got it. All right. For esophageal sphincter. Prescription device. Interesting. Huh. Prescription device used to apply external pressure on the cricoid cartilage. There's actually like treatments for this stuff. Oh boy. Okay, yeah, so that's like the smoking thing. Um, oh man. Okay, this is a really cool visual. Hopefully this is a PNG and has a decent quality. Um, yes, okay, it's a JPEG. Nice. All right. This is really cool. This is why, like, human beings are amazing. Like, this stuff gives me hope. I know that's cheesy as hell to say, but like people can figure out all this cool stuff and make art with it, and it's like it seems so random, but there's like this tendency for people to do really cool things, and that's awesome and creative and all the good things. Right. Let me see if this will work. Nope. Oh, that would be why it's green. That's not what there we go. I need to organize things better. Okay. Oops. Come on. Well, for whatever reason, it's not working. So, no, it's the wrong one. I thought I had this set up. Rip. This is on. There we go. Okay. Cool. All right. So this is what I think is happening. Oops, I just gotta figure out what that is. So that's where the vocal folds would be, and that's in the trachea. That's where air from breathing comes in, right? This is, oops, this is the cartilage that will differentiate when you're swallowing versus when you're breathing. In this picture, it is blocking off the trachea, blocking off the lungs. So then this is what he's talking about with burping, is you're swallowing the air. So you're treating the air. This cartilage is like blocking off the airways, and then you're swallowing the air. And then what Eclipse just proposed, which makes sense, is that this will oscillate from doing the burp, but you'll do so in a way that is similar to falsetto. I think I can just draw that here. So falsetto is, let's say these are the vocal folds, right? Ordinarily, they oscillate by like coming together like that. Falsetto is, these things are completely separate, and then they oscillate by themselves. Which is why you get the airy sound, because all this air is leaking out this way, right? And so that's what gives the hissy air quality to it. But combined, you have burp falsetto, and then you have falsetto of the voice. Who's I we had this discussion before. It was like, who sits there and goes like, what if I just burp falsettoed? Right? Like that's, I don't know. That's bonkers to me. It's really cool, but I don't know how you get here. Like, all right. Yeah, right. Uh, one second. So far I think many people have learned it. The Stitch said a few of his friends have. Confused. Most beatboxers don't copyright their stuff aside. Gotcha. Um, uh, beatboxers don't copyright their stuff. The problem with it, Ron, is that there is a way for me to know. I could have downloaded this entire playlist, put it together, and uploaded it to see what exactly was copyrighted, but I didn't do that. And the issue with screwing around with that, I already have a channel warning. Like, if I do it again, I get a strike. So like it's like I'm not gonna be like, well, let's just see who's got copyright protection on their stuff. Let's roll the dice with my living. You know what I mean? That's kind of why we do it this way. And it sucks. I don't like it either, but that's what it is. I'm not risking my channel. But I have no idea where the click. I think the click would be the equivalent of like a voice crack, but uh on uh the other the burp one, the burp sphincter. So yeah, so I think what he's trying to say is basically like ah and opera singers just train cracks out of their voice, so ah, right, like something like that, but like you're doing it with your epiglottic sphincter. um yeah, is that it? Is that the end of the video? I don't think so, is it? No, that is okay. That's funny. That makes a lot of sense too. Um, do I just yeah, you just join voice chat for the audio. That should work. Sorry, I'm catching with Discord chat now. For wildcard audio, they can use. Okay, we said that. Yeah. Can't drop a link in YouTube chat. This is charismatic voice being polyphonic. Everyone started her bothering you, but can I still only hear Lesage on Discord, but not just the video? Yeah, and then that should get the video up. Let me show you all the diagram that I got so that you don't have to like dig through the videos. So maybe I can mess a little bit of that in Paint. I can also change the window I'm sharing, which probably is easier. Let me change the window so people here can see it. Okay. So that should be, I'm sharing the screen. Yeah. Okay. So this is what we were talking about. This is your trachea. These are the vocal folds. And the cartilage here. Oops. Cartilage here is the one that will, protect your airways from getting food in them, right? So I think that's the epiglottis. I don't know. I need more coffee. Yeah, that's what I figured. And then this is the where food goes down, right? And so what we're saying is that the sphincter responsible for this, and this is important to denote, the vocal folds are a sphincter, right? That's what they are. So it's not deranged to think that other sphincters in the same area can also provide sound, right? So what this click is, this idea, is that say these lines are the vocal folds, or any sphincter for that matter. if they pop open very quickly, that gives that click sound. So what I'm doing, I don't know if anyone can hear this, probably not. This is a glottal. Man, it's hard to. Anyway, you can do it with your vocal folds where you do this. That'll give it a click. Or if you flip it to falsetto, that will also create this like kind of like click sound. But yeah, that's where I think he's coming from there. There's my nose. Okay. You're talking about like basically sympathetic resonance. Like, for example, yeah, so like ordinarily when you're singing with your vocal folds, like your digestive tract is not going to be vibrating necessarily that much. Whereas if you're doing something with your the other sphincter, which is epiglottis sphincter, upper epiglottis sphincter. If you're doing that, the digestive tract will also have sympathetic vibrations. So if there's the Tom Thumb video that I did with the TED Talk where I watched that. And you can see, like, even though he's singing, and even though we talk about like specific parts and moving, and this makes that sound, that makes that sound, when he does anything, the whole thing moves, right? When he's doing just singing, the arytenoids are going crazy. And the arytenoids are like two little things that bring the vocal folds together, right? Like everything is moving. So if you do that with your digestive tract and you're trying to oscillate with your other sphincter, the upper epiglottis sphincter, the same thing is going to happen in your digestive tract, is that everything is going to kind of be moving. And I wonder if this sound actually has a little bit to do with phase cancellation. Because like you're getting like two audio sources that are near each other. And if you've ever done like a phase cancellation thing in a DAW, that's kind of what this sounds like. Which is kind of nutty, right? Like he's doing phase cancellation with his own body. Like that's pretty nutty. Anyway. I'm good for another if you're ready to go. Oops. Sorry. All right, let me do the intro. Oh. Valid. I will continue to drink my coffee and talk to people. So I like talking to people. Perfect. Can we watch later Damash's vocal range? Maybe later if I feel pretty good. We have a lot of videos to get through on the beatboxing and the things, but if I feel pretty good, like after this, I was gonna go through patron requests, and there's a Damash request on the patron request, so pretty sure. I've actually only listened to one thing from him. Dimash, the singer. Adagio, I think he covered Adagio, Laura Fabian's. Yeah. It's funny. I knew the second. What? That's silly. That's silly. There's like, I'm sure there are going to be things about, yeah, like I'm sure there are things I'm going to do like cover from Dimash. Like, this is how I feel about Mariah Carey, is that like I don't like all the vocal fireworks and chicanery is like really cool, but the reason I keep coming back to Mariah Carey is her overdubs and the way she approaches being a recording artist, and then how much work she puts into making her live performances as compelling as the albums in terms of all the vocal overdubs. You know, she'll bring in like Boyz II Men. Her backup singers are like some of the best in the business. Like, I haven't listened to enough Dimash. The range stuff is cool. Yeah, he's got, yeah. I'm gonna learn more about him. I just can't like comment much on Dimash as an artist because I've only seen one video. Um, is Shogo in the list? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, um, Shogo on the playlist. Yes, and then can't find anything on Discord. So what you have to do, this is a little bit obnoxious, I know. You have to go to rules. You have to click the thumbs up emoji that says react to this message to get your singer role, right? So that's going to be in the top channels under announcements. So you do that, then you can join the live stream, and then you just click on the live button. Um, I apologize. I know it's obnoxious. Like, next time what we'll do is we'll and I should have done this before I said I would. We'll download the playlist and see which is copyright versus which is not, and that'll make this a lot more feasible. Um, so do we know Shogo? I think Shogo copyrights his stuff too, right? Yeah. Um, yeah. Oh, that's right. We were gonna go to YouTube live without the when we're done with the copyright stuff. I remember. Okay. Um, Shazbot. Let me real quick. Um, I didn't separate each video like I usually do. Um, so let me get to that, and then my pullovers for creator. Delete all and jump cut. Okay, that'll work there. Um, all right. I actually might just make it all one video for the sake of expedience. No, because then I'd have to cut out all the intros and fuck that noise. All right. Yeah, opening a video editor is the bane of my existence. So okay. Uh, I'm good, I guess, to start. What is up, everybody? This is your chronically Caucasian vocal analyst, and I'm here today with Eclipse Beatbox. We're gonna be listening to a compilation of Stitch's 626 effect, which just went on ad nauseum, is how this might be physically possible. All right, let's just jump right into it. Oh, let me kill that then. All right. Hold on 1 second. Change the red on. All right. What is up, everybody? This is your chronically Caucasian vocal analyst, and today we're going to be examining Shogo's stuff, which is exciting because I've actually never heard Shogo, so... super precise. Like, unbelievably clean. This is insane. Ah, nice. Okay. Yeah, that's nutty. Nice. Oh, nice. Nice. This actually just sounds like this is good music. Like, that's really, really, really dope. Um, and by saying dope, I'm pretty sure I just killed that word. Yeah, especially because like that is so crispy clean. This is actually one of my pet peeves on on a lot of my videos. Like, oh, that sounds not so impressive once you've seen the GBB. Like, to me, that's like saying once you've seen the Olympics a few times, you know, Michael Phelps is not that impressive. Like, it's not. People get caught up in like the ideas of like different sounds, and that's exciting, 100%. Right? There's something about um discovering a new sound that is really compelling and exciting. Um, but it all does none of that matters if you can't get to this level of like super clean execution. And this is unbelievably clean. Like even that, like the kick is really, really like it's punchy, it's super nice. You could probably take a metronome to this entire performance, and the kick snare is probably going to be right on time, pretty much for the whole thing. And that's not easy. Like, and there was another comment on a video like, well, beatboxers just know. They just know how to be on a metronome. I'm like, okay, well, I've seen many people not. And that's just nonsense anyway. But yeah, no, this is like super, super, super clean and deserves accolades on that grounds alone. Anyway, that's my rant. Sorry. I talk a lot. That's why I have a YouTube channel. Because no one listens to me otherwise. um, Let me. I messed up my file management. I'll get to chat in just a moment. My apologies, y'all. We'll be doing this a lot cleaner. Why is it that this isn't being populated? What is going on? Did I just slam it all in video storage? Shit. I don't think I recorded the initial reaction, which sucks. Let me see, what's... Yeah. No, I did. Yeah, okay, no, it's just a really short video. Got it. All right. Let me just make sure this is like everything's copacetic. I might be using that word wrong. Okay. Yep, we're good. All right. Oh, let me get the chat as well. Dilo SPX showcase. I've reached out to Swiss Beatbox and asked for my channel to be whitelisted. When or if that happens, or at least when I get a response, I'll do more of that stuff. Is Gene on the list? I don't know. Is Gene on the list? I don't think we talked about that. Oh, he is. Nice. Okay, dope. Far more than all the live GBB videos that came out a while back too. You know, I'm sure the Shogo stuff will perform really well. The most requested artist I get across every video, because I just wrote a program that will tell me how many times that artist is mentioned. No pig. Yeah, I know, right? But Dilo and MB14, specifically MB14, like twice as requested as anybody else. But yeah, I know I'm not worried about views. I'm worried about CPMs. That's a different conversation. Let me go to Discord and get the respond here. I can explain the 626 effect or some other sounds. I know. Ping me if he starts watching the got it. Shogo and Stitch copyright 100% of their music and videos, which is fine. That's okay. It's just not something. This is why we're not live streaming it, right? At least on YouTube. Shogo's great. Another beatboxer that focuses on clarity of sounds, and I appreciate that, Mal. That's like something I really want to see more often. Is I love fancy stuff, right? But the best Italian food is not about how many spices you throw in it, right? It's about the quality of the tomato, quality of the ingredient. There's room for both, right? But it's like I don't think you can bias too strongly in one direction. And unfortunately, I think I see that way too often. But anyway, that's me being an old curmudgeon. Pretty soon I'll tell every beatboxer to get off my lawn. All right. Let's I guess let's move on. Let's do it. Let me do the intro. What is up? I am your chronically Caucasian vocal analyst, and today we're going to be listening to the double voice tutorial that Shogo put up, which is nice because I know nothing. You good? You ready? Is this the timestamp you wanted? 146? Okay. All right. Yep. There we go. I can actually add some value here. So the reason why this dries the voice, hold on, boop. Let me see if I can get this up. Oh, what? Ooh, okay, so I do have the zoom button. Nice. Let me get another graph up, and then I'll change the Discord window. Okay. Let me change the Discord window so y'all can see this. I don't make the same mistake that I just made. Change windows. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do it. It's gonna be great. There we go. Okay. So the reason falsetto dries out your folds. Let me see if I can just get the burp. Oh, messed that up. Spoosh. There we go. Oh, sweet. I'll move this a little bit. So, yeah, there we go. So these are your folds. They are covered with a very small amount of mucus. This is called the mucosal lining. It helps seal the vocal folds when you bring them together, and it helps protect them as well. When you are singing falsetto, your folds are not together, right? These don't come inwards. Those are terrible arrows. This is why my father doesn't love me right here. So this is the closure that happens when you sing. The arytenoid cartilages, which are here, they come together, boosh. Your folds come together, right? When you do falsetto, none of that happens. They stay here. For the most part, they stay a little stiff. And that's what creates falsetto. And so all of this air, there we go. All of this air is just coming through. And so that dries out the folds, because ordinarily there's not that much air coming through, and the mucosal lining coming together kind of keeps everything not dry. This is why falsetto can actually be very, very draining. So there are tons of tricks countertenors use to make that work, but that's the gist of it. All right, I'll just change my scene again. Here, change the screen on Discord. We're gonna get good at this. This is gonna happen. There we go. Right. Let me see if there are any questions. On there. Nope. Okay. No questions. Good. All right, let's do this. Okay. Yeah. I swear, I know how to internet. I'm a good millennial. This I can also explain. Thankfully, we've watched so many beatboxing videos. I'm like, yeah, yeah. This is yeah. This is a softball pitch right here. So we've already explained falsetto. Mixed voice is one of those things where it happens on a continuum. So, you know, and these terminologies are not exactly... Voice teachers fight over things that they haven't defined, but that's not here nor there. This is what happens when mixed voice happens. Oops. these parts, this part of the fold right here. Give me the paintbrush. Don't give me sass. What is going on? I said don't give me sass. There we go. What is going on? Let me real quick delete that thing because it was bad. Unless I tied everything into that. No, I tied everything into that. All right. Why is that not showing up? I don't quite understand. Is it the size? Okay, yeah, it was the size. Okay, figured it out. So see how these are closer together than these, right? So mixed voice is when these will come together, but this doesn't come together yet. On the Discord? Yeah, hold on. Boosh. Does that work? Okay. So the whole thing is that the arytenoids will come together, right? Or try to approximate. And then there's only some vocal closure. Now, to the degree of, you might have the question, well, how much vocal closure creates mixed? And this is where it's best to think of these things on a continuum, because like, if this is connected, is that falsetto or mixed? Is this connected? Is this falsetto or mixed, right? And this is the issue that people get, and they beat their heads over it, and they pound their chest, they'll go on Reddit, insult your mother. But this is what physically happens, and I think it's easier to talk about this than try to understand terms. Now, what creates the crack, right? So there's something called the Bernoulli effect. So what happens with the crack is that he's going from falsetto to mixed voice, and these are coming together so quickly that it's abrupt, right? And so let me demonstrate that another way. Finally, I get to actually... I'm like, I know what I'm doing here! Yay! God, I hate this. Always checks up on this stuff. I really need to change the position of my monitor. This is not... It's not good. I'm like craning my neck for like hours on it. That's a little... It's not... I think you have to train it a certain way. It's not like conceptually difficult or even physically that difficult, but if you've trained, like in my situation as an opera singer, like I do everything I can to train cracks out of the voice, because a crack in opera is a mistake. Yeah, it's like, yeah, you have to train this with that in mind. And so, but luckily a lot of beatbox singing doesn't involve a lot of tilting. So it's much easier to get these sort of effects if that's what you're following through on. All right, let me get up my Estel thing. Nope, that's Elgato. There we go. Okay. Do this, bring back paint. Okay. And let me actually move Estel once more so I can get the top of it. Is it just not going to give you the top? Hold on. Boo! There we go. All right, I will set this up in the future to have all of this be like a click of the button. Okay, So this is a spectrogram. It is one of my favorite tools in existence. But we're not actually going to look at the frequencies here. We're going to look at the waveform here. So this is what's called an aspirate abrupt. Right? So why is this happening? Right? Why is it that we see this all of a sudden like is it this? Right? Yeah, from nothing. If we zoom in super a lot, which is, you know, the technical term, zoom a lot, you'll see here that there is actually sound. It's just not anywhere near as strong. So, but the way this happens, and we're going to go to the vocal fold picture again. The way that this happens is that because of the Bernoulli effect, as you start to bring in progressively more air, these will just come together. What's another way to do this? Yeah, so take a K, like put your tongue on an NG, right? There we go. Hold on. Yeah, there we go. Put your tongue on an NG, and then inhale. Your lips will close regardless of what you want it to do. like that's the Bernoulli effect. So that's what happens as air comes in. The pressure on the outside becomes greater than the pressure on the inside. And therefore, because nature abhors a vacuum, right? Boom, the pressure on the outside closes in. So I'm not moving my lips. You can do this, right? NG. And that's the Bernoulli effect. And so that's exactly what's happening with the folds, with the exception of this. Yeah. Let's see if I can. I'm trying to mimic the vocal folds. There we go. So that's what that looks like on the vocal fold end of things. And so that's what he's doing with mixed. Yeah. Any questions? I can do it too. It's mixed voice to falsetto. Yeah, the crack is just like that thing. It's just the air coming together. You don't actually have to do much of anything. It just, you know, change how much air you're using, and then it'll all happen on its own. It's not. It's a voice crack. It's just not what we can do. What we traditionally think of when we think of a voice crack. But I guess you can more accurately say it's an abrupt glottal. Anyway. Okay. Yeah, I mean, sharp claw, I think we're like splitting hairs here. Like, if we remove the emotion from the sounds, like the descriptors, right? Because I think what, correct me if I'm wrong, what you're getting at here is that like cracking your voice is a pejorative, right? Like it's a negative thing. And that's not inherently true. A lot of people communicate that way though. So I get where you're coming from. It's like when I say falsetto and everyone freaks out. They're like, he's not using falsetto. I don't know why that's my impression of my comment section, but react to B art versus MB14. I think we're gonna get there. I don't know if it's today, but we're gonna get there. All right, I'm ready to continue. Sorry, that was a really long aside. You ready? Okay. Sure. I always wondered how codfish takes his throat bass so high. I think I'm so used to tilting, which is like the antithesis of what you want. Sandstorm, why not? You good? Take your time. Yeah, you can even have 4 seconds. You don't have to apologize for your English, because I don't know any German. I don't have a second language other than like some statements in Quebecois. Alexandre, qu'est-ce que tu fais, là? Which is just me mimicking my aunt. So no one needs to apologize for their English. Like, in true American fashion, I only speak American. Yeah, yikes, I know. Alright, you good? You said you're good? Alright. Alright, let's put our cowboy hats on for next react. That's really cool. Yeah. That's great. So what he's the reason why he's saying relax, falsetto, you can do falsetto one of 2 ways. You can blow your folds open by just shoving a lot of air through it. You cannot achieve this sound if that's what's going to happen. We're going to go back to the diagram because apparently I like to hear myself talk. So if you have too much air, these will blow open because they're so tiny. This whole thing in a male is the size of a nickel, and in a female it's the size of a dime. The stuff can't handle a lot of air pressure. So the falsetto that everyone thinks badly of is where you blow things open. You can't do that. If your intention is to get this sound, you want to have enough control over your falsetto, and specifically your breath, to where you get to the point where they just come together. And that's the exercise I was doing before with the aspirate abrupt, when we look at the Estel thing that I'm moving around because I don't know how to do OBS. There we go. So that's what's happening when I'm doing here. Here. There we go. So there's just a tiny bit of air, and then I increase it just enough so that this happens. The best way to practice this is through aspirate graduals, which actually take quite a bit of practice, but this is the best way to do it. Would be there we go. Not as good. You can see the difference here, right? So this is the aspirate gradual, right? Gradually, there's a V shape. This is the aspirate abrupt. Boom. So practice these two, and then you'll get the hang of this. But the reason why relaxation is important is because I think a lot of people misunderstand breath. Let's get a lung thing up. Lungs. Oh, good. This was from the CDC, so I don't have to worry about someone coming in and taking my money. All right. Okay. That'll work. Okay. So ignore the trachea thing here. We'll just cover that up. So the lungs have no structure of their own. I'm gonna find. Oh no, we gotta bring that under because I need to mark it up with my pen. Okay, so the lungs have no structure of their own. They are attached to the rib cage and surrounding stuff, the surrounding anatomy, just through like a connection of like some sort of mucosal membrane. I forget what the name is. So I dropped my microphone. So this is why a collapsed lung is bad, right? So a collapsed lung is what happens when the actual lung tissue detaches from the membrane. That's a collapsed lung. You can die from that. What a lot of people mistake is, so the diaphragm underneath the lungs, this is responsible for inhaling and exhaling, but there's a phrase that I find bothersome. Diaphragmatic breathing. If your diaphragm doesn't work, you're dead. So you don't have really control of your diaphragm other than I'm not going to inhale and I'm not going to exhale. That's the degree to which you can control your diaphragm. The brain takes care of it in the same way that you don't intend to beat your heart, right? It's just super important. And on top of that, there are no nerve endings on this muscle. You will never feel the diaphragm. You'll feel effects of it, but you will never feel it itself. So what we have to work on as singers are some of the other factors. Because there's no structure of its own, all of the tension that we would have in our shoulders, our back, our abdominal wall, our chest, if we have pressure in those areas, this is what's going to happen. There's going to be pressure on the lungs. So as you inhale, you have to inhale a little bit more because you're fighting against this compression here. And then as you exhale, you do so at a speed that's in most situations undesirable. So if this is relaxed though, and sort of like benign and there's very little tension, you have a lot more control over the in and out of the breath. So that's why he's saying that relaxation is extremely, extremely important, because if you don't have that, you're going to get this. And then your ability to precisely control your breath, because again, we don't want to blow the folds open, right? We want to, there we go. No. Yeah. Here we go. Of course I close it. But the idea here is that you don't want to blow these things open. And you want to be precise about how much air you let out. And to do that, you need not a lot of tension. To do that, you need a lot of practice. And to do that, you should absolutely be relaxing. And do the exercises I just did. You can download Audacity and see the waveform, and then you can practice like that. I give that to a lot of my students, and it helps. Okay, that was a struggle, but that's it. That's it for that. All right, you ready? You're good. The okay, that's bizarre. Of the actual, yeah, I wasn't playing that whole diatribe. Yeah. That should work. Oh wait, actually no, it shouldn't work because I'm on OBS and Discord. I'm using the OBS cam, so that wouldn't show. Yeah. Let me change the. Can you stop the video for a second? There we go. All right. Huh. Uh, so just a real quick moment. Uh, if you are not subscribed to Shogo, um, this is why your father left you. You should go fix that by subscribing to Shogo. Yeah. Segway. All right. Is this a performance of his, not a tutorial? Okay. It's a performance. You got it. All right. Let me do the thing. So that should have fixed the audio. I think, right? Okay. We're good. For a second, I was worried I deleted everything. What is up? This is your chronically Caucasian vocal analyst, and today we're going to listen to some Shogo. Very excite. All right. Yeah, you want to pop in that next video? Let's see. Oh, got it. Okay, so we just do that. New schooler? Oh, okay. It's really, really, really tight. I think I accidentally hit spacebar. Unless you stopped it. I think I actually stopped it. Did you stop it? Okay. Can I ask a question? His hand, like, I expected this in the last video. He had the same thing. He had a yellow one, and I thought it was like a gourd that he would use as a shaker. First of all, also, what are the pronouns for Shogo? Because I don't want to mess that up. Okay, real quick, I'm gonna just double check that. Um. Okay. All right. I'll just do like correct it in the comments if we're wrong. Okay, so him looks like in the comments. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to be wrong about this stuff. Anyway. So, and you were gonna say Eclipse? I presumed you paused it for something specific. But this thing that gotcha. Okay. This thing that he has in his hand, he had it in the last video and he didn't use it. Does anyone know? Like, this is the one he had in his last video. So I don't know like what exactly that is. All right. If anyone knows and can explain that, I'd appreciate that in the comment section. Anyway, I guess let's do it. Oops. This is what I hate about Watch Together. There we go. Nice. So good. Nice. This is okay. I don't know. I have to point this out because I don't know if this is going to translate in OBS because of like possible compression that I might have on these the series of really fast hits, these fills are actually dynamic. So what I mean by that is he's not right, right. He's gradually increasing the volume. And that's super cool. Like it sounds like a small thing, but it's super important. There's a reason why beatboxers use dynamic microphones. There's a reason why drum kits are mic'd with dynamic microphones. When you are doing rhythm, pretty much the only expressive thing you have is dynamics. Like obviously with vocalizations, that's not true, but these little moments are phrased, which is like awesome. So sick. That's so good. Great exit. Great exit. Yeah, no, this is yeah. This is like I'm this is where I would love to thank you, New Schooler, but give us a moment. uh, the Shogo, like I want to get better at expressing like the details of a lot of this stuff. And I think I'm just gonna have to A, listen to a lot more beatboxing, B, beatbox more myself, but also more specifically, I'm gonna have to make more music because like that's where a lot of the intricacies come in from the performances, like from Stitch and from Shogo. Is there's these this is precision that we talk about, sure. Come on, watch together. Calm yourself. But yeah, there's this precision as well as the phrasing and musicality that I really want to point out more because it's brilliant. Hold on, let me move my files. Oh, that was the double voice tutorial. No, that is a lie. Okay, that is good. Move that. Okay, I'm ready if you're ready. Okay. Welcome, everybody. This is your chronically Caucasian vocal analyst. And today we're going to go with New Schooler. So let's check it out. That guy's clearly a bass. It's fun. Yeah. Ah, nice. They're so synced. Wow. Um, so there are a couple of musical elements I'd love to just talk about. First things first, um, the development of the musical ideas is pretty doperino, which is the technical term. Um, so what we have here in the beginning, this is very, very, very common with beatboxers because for the most part, it's a monophonic, the voice is a monophonic instrument, right? There's one note at a time. So those are the arpeggios. Boom, doom, ba-dum, ba-dum, boom, boom, ba-dum, ba-dum. I'm probably not getting the notes right, but that's what an arpeggio is. It's a chord that's broken up into melody, into individual notes. So that's a really common device. Then the other thing that's really, really interesting to me is that, and this is lost in a lot of modern music, is like listening to each other and tuning to each other. Anytime you have singers in a like in an a cappella situation, singers have to be very careful about, overpowering another singer, right? Nowadays it's mostly negated by the sound guy, right? You can do whatever you want to do and your sound guy is going to take care of it, or compression, or levels, side chaining, whatever. There's a whole bunch of audio solutions. I'm not saying that's worse, but I love what it sounds like when everybody's kind of listening to each other really, really intently and working with each other. And specifically, this moment is what brings that to a T for me, where they come off of the buildup. I'll transition. Yeah. Yeah. This. Like, that is so in time. That is it's an amazing transition, and the timing on it is incredible. But also, there's something called just tuning. So a lot of what we use now almost on any instrument, like a keyboard or a guitar, is we use equal temperament. So that means every half step is the same distance from one another. But that sounds infinitely different from just tuning. Let me get this in a second. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna clear this stuff on my C505 and then do this. Maybe I'll also have a virtual piano up. I forget the EU. There we go. All right. So specifically, major thirds or thirds in general in equal temperament are kind of lackluster. So that might sound fine to you, but here's the big difference. Let me get this to just be one measure. Measure. Dum, 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 dum. Dum, 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 dum. Dum, 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 dum. That's not what I wanted. This is now turned into a one hit for whatever reason. Dum dum, and that was a fifth anyway. Dum 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 dum. So, dum 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 dum. Okay. Dum 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 dum. Okay. Okay. So you're gonna hear this. There's just this like crunchy quality to the thirds versus this. Oh, me. Dum 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 dum. Yeah. So that is, it's different. It feels like more sonorous. It's more locked in, and it's less crunchy. So it's a big difference. And this is the entire premise that's built around like a string quartet, quintet. Anything that can adjust pitch like microtonally, like that doesn't have like frets or keys. That's why they sound so good together. And this little hit, not only does it happen on time, but they don't have time to tune to each other. Like I had to stop recording. I'm live right now. I had to stop recording and put it into my looper, dum 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 dum, and then kind of play around with it, just kind of really lock in. And these guys are right on time, and the intervals are super clean and tuned in with each other, which is very difficult. Like, it's like, what's your reference pitch? My badassery. Like, anyway, that's just super cool. All right. Sorry, we can do next up. And that's very common too, to layer snares in any genre that has drums in it. So this is cool. Let's check it out. Oops. Wow. If you didn't point that out, I would not have known that that's doubled. That's insane. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. That's super good. There's all these like little nuggets. Yeah. Yeah. That's actually good practice for anyone who wants to learn to loop. But geez. Yeah, I can see that. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. My wife is calling. 1 second. My wife says hello. All right. Yes. All right. So yeah, I agree that the future of beatboxing is going to be like people are very, very much into beatboxing in general, but if it doesn't appeal musically, then I think it ends up being gimmicky. Like we might like it because we beatbox, but beatboxing has to reach people who don't themselves beatbox. And so there has to be something expressed or communicated other than, wow, look at these cool moves. And there are people who are definitely doing that, right? MB14, like I'm not knocking people. There are tons of people who are great ambassadors, Marquet, tons and tons of people. But this is, yeah, Shogo is incredible. Codfish, I mean, you name it. But these folks are basically a boy band. And I don't know if you know BTS fans. They're crazy in a good way. Don't dox me, please. But BTS fans are intense. The where I in Vegas, where there's a BTS concert, the pre-sales sold out. Like the premium pre-sales, the whole venue got filled off of that. Right? No one who was like, let me just see when the tickets are going, like those people didn't get tickets. Period. They sold out an arena in Las Vegas on pre-sale tickets. That's demented. Heavyweight champion bouts don't do that. That's demented. So yeah, that's the future. I 100% agree with you. Like, and this is a really, really good representation of that. Yeah. They're not using a lot of fills and stuff, yeah. Yeah. I'm very much interested in that. Yeah. All right. We can do the next video, but before we do that, my dog needs to be on my lap because she's so needy. So give me a second. That's the last of copyright. Oh yeah, perfect. Perfect time to take a break. All right, we'll be on actual YouTube this time. I'm gonna kill the stream, and you want like a 15-minute break? Does that sound good? All right. Get some lunch water and a little bit more coffee. All right. Yes. Put it in a blender. Let's go. So folks, we're going to move from here to actual YouTube proper. And that's going to be what we do. We'll be live in about 15 minutes.